Shalom. My name is Liz McGee, and I'm a Torah teacher with the Elect Life with a Secrets of Torah video. This is exciting to me, and just in time for Halloween. Our brains. Let's talk about our brains a little bit and how we are made in the image and in the likeness of God. Now, that's what our Torah says, but let's try to see if that fits what science is saying, because truly, science and Torah are supposed to speak the same language at the end of days, and let's just see if they are. So our Torah starts out telling us that in the beginning, Yah created them male and female, and it says that we are made in the image and the likeness of God. So what does that mean? And again, I'm always about this in the Hebrew, that it's very important to go into the 3-letter root words, not translations or any of this, because that is the language of God. That has everything we need to know in it if we would learn the Hebraic understanding of what is really in those letters. But that was my one rap trail. So we're made in the image and likeness. We're made male and female. Now, let me tell you, the image. So if I try to express to you, what does it mean to be made in the image? Well, if you say it to, you ever hear a little kid, you look at him and you go, oh my gosh, you are the spitting image of your dad. To look at me, he's like a clone. It's like you are just the complete physical representation of your father. That's an image, right? When you Snapchat, it's an image of what is. Now, the flip side is the female has this, it is the concept, it's called likeness. It made in the image and likeness. So it's not the same thing. This is what you need to learn about Hebrew. If it was the same thing, it would have used the same word. It's not. So likeness is you ever had your husband say to one of your kids or so, like, you're just like your mother. You're just like your mother, meaning we're not talking about a spitting image. We're talking about a likeness in character, in personality, in quirkiness, whatever. You're just like your mother. So we do have here 2 modes of representation. Sort of one that is coming is in the visible sense, and one that is more of a personality, coming from a deeper, more hidden part of the human persona. So that being said, image and likeness, which we can equate to similarity and quite frankly, image. Now, in the brain, so that's what it's saying. And now in science today, they're discovering, yes, we have a left side and a right side brain. They call it split brain hemisphericity or lateralization. All right. So and they know in the brain, they're different. They collect and process and sort of, they have different hardware and different software. The 2 modes of knowing, of understanding, of perceiving. Like I said, you perceive information to kind of make the image, or you perceive information to kind of make it into like the likeness. Again, image and likeness. And we have to understand right brain, left brain, and they know a lot about what parts of us are from, the creative part of us associated with the right brain, or the more analytical part of us. And let me just say something. We all have, believe me, if you don't have 2 brains in your brain, you have a real problem. So everyone has this male and female, this split brain functionality going on. This is very important. The other thing that's important to understand is there's a 3rd brain. And the Torah talks about it. There is what is called in the ancient, the pineal gland. So you have a right brain here, you have a left brain. The walnut's a perfect example. God's archetype is in all of nature. All right. But this idea, the cerebellum, is sort of in the middle between these 2 brains, and it has an opening, a pineal gland. And the ancients were very familiar with this concept, and they knew that was where their connectors going. Now, let me say they have discovered there's over 200 million nerves that are communicating and connected and going back and forth between the 2 sides, trying to keep a level playing field, trying to keep communication open and going before. Most of it happens on just totally automatic levels. But the point, it's happening. All right. And this is, the Bible calls this, I just want to say, running to and fro. What's the difference between saying these millions of nerves are communicating back and forth, or actually they're running to and fro? All right. But our image, our archetype, what we're saying about reality is the same. Now that's the Torah perspective. And like I said, today they will call this this split brain understanding. And what is so interesting, and again, this is going to be a merger now at the end of the age. Remember, this is a Torah secret video. So yes, a lot of the science, did you know that the science of Torah predates, quote unquote, science today? Okay. So here, I just want to move into the next slide here. I want to share something. Now, this is on the right side. This is one of the visuals from our ministry, the Elect Life, because I teach these deeper understandings, and we teach them in a way with visuals, so it's much easier. That's why I want to tell you about the letters. The letters are much more than just like a black and white letter. They have a lot of information, and they're like a picture. A picture tells 1,000 words. If you knew what this picture symbolized, there's probably more than 1,000 words of information embedded and encoded in these symbols. It's just a way of retaining. It's like a filing system, a way of retaining understanding. Okay. So biblically, the right side brain is called Chokmah. When we're told over and over and over again in the Torah to get wisdom, to get understanding. I said actually it's used 26 times, that phrase in the Torah, and actually 26 is the name of God for Yod He Vav He. It's not an accident, okay? When you get wisdom and you get understanding, and you combine it together, and you with the third brain, because it's a threesome here, in the cerebellum, and you have communication, and you have integration. All right, and this is a known process. This is why we want to, we want to be balanced people, right? We want to be integrated people. But so the Torah calls it Chokmah and Bina. It's get wisdom and understanding, a masculine component and a feminine component, and it comes together in this middle. Now, this is what's interesting, because at the end of the age, it is prophesied, excuse me, that remember that Abraham had two wives. Just to say, he married Hagar in the very beginning. Hagar was an Egyptian princess that he was given to wife. She was royalty, and he did marry. And when Sarah, this is the whole Torah story. It's a lot. There's a lot of understanding packed into it. But at one point, he did send Hagar away because he was focused on this child called Isaac, who God had a whole prophetic plan for. Fine. He sent in the later parts of this, just so you understand, Hagar is known as Keturah at the end of her life because she has transformed herself. She has become a woman like Sarah, so full of godly character of the Shekinah that now everything about her in her life, Keturah is the word for incense. She's like a sweet smelling incense her whole life before the Father. I think it's so beautiful. But her children, that doesn't leave anybody out, people. We are in the reunification of the North and South and the East and the West, okay? So it says, understanding the secret of Abraham's gifts to the Orient, it is what is now coming full circle, is part of this reunification. This is so exciting, people, because it says Abraham said he sent the children away with great gifts. And we have to understand God is in control. We have a lot of theology that likes to put people in boxes and say this and that. But Yah's perspective, he said that all nations were going to be saved and be able to come under his banner. So there has to be a plan. So I want to say the secret of our brains, who would have thought, carries a huge, actually, and I'm going to start with this. Why knowledge? You just got to get knowledge, people. Let me just show you this. But what I want to end before I begin this, that it's very important that we understand today that this idea, and this is why I'm running this campaign, but being for president, we need to elevate our understanding. So our brains, we're not stuck in a right mode or a left mode of thinking, but we have integration. We can take the best of both ways of knowing and both modes of consciousness and live a life of truth and peace and bring that to the nations. That's the plan. Okay, shalom. I will see you in the next video.